Okay, do it live. Do it live. Hello, all, and welcome to the stream. It's October 26th. I am Paul Mosley Hinton, and we are going to do a photo shoot tonight. It's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be pretty simple. And I hope you're going to enjoy watching me do it because that's what we're here for. Hope everyone had a good day. If not, just take a second and relax. Watch some photo shoots go down here, and yeah, everything's gonna be fine. So don't you worry. Um, if you've been following the stream, the camera that we're gonna shoot tonight is kind of a regular on the show, as it were. This guy is an Argus C3. This particular model is either the C3 or I think it's a C3, technically a C3 standard. I have a couple of these cameras. If you also have been following the stream, you'll know that when we play Fallout 76, when we do our photography in Fallout 76, this is the camera item that we actually end up photographing with in the game. And we're going to do some really cool stuff with this. We're going to customize it. You can customize these leather camera covers that these have and exchange them for other textures. And I have a beautiful wood grain camera cover that's very similar to the one that I use in the game. And I'm doing some customization to this camera to make it look exactly like the camera in the game and to rebrand it with the correct branding that's in the game. This is a Argus camera. In the game, the brand is known as ProSnap camera. So we're going to do some rebranding and such. I have some of the camera manuals that we're going to scan. We're going to change all the names in that manual. Hey, Paxmore, what's up, Paxy? Yeah, ProSnap Camera Club, a great website, prosnapcameraclub.com. That's just getting started. So there's not much on there right now. Currently, it's just a feed of all the images from Fallout 76 that we've taken. But that will most likely be where a lot of the videos, other than YouTube, will show up. That's kind of chronicling the customizing of this camera. It's also a very simple camera to service. So I might open it up and lubricate the working parts here if it needs it. I might not mess around too much. I'm going to shoot a roll of film through this thing and test and see if the shutter speeds work, because that's about the only thing I would really need to do would be to lubricate the shutter mechanism so that the shutter speeds are now functioning properly. Because that's one of the biggest issues with this camera. The shutter speeds get sticky, or the shutter itself gets sticky. And then your shutter speeds end up either too fast or too slow. I think it basically ends up locking you in to the 1/300th of a second shutter speed, which is the fastest this camera has. And again, without doing, I mean, it sounds like I'm getting slower shutter speeds out of it. But they might be off a little bit, so I'm going to do a test, shoot a roll with it, and use my digital camera to do the exact same exposures and make sure that everything's hunky-dory with this little guy. But today, all we're going to do is just photograph a couple simple photos. One of the front. I love the face of this camera. It's very beautiful and classic looking. And then one beautiful shot of the leather detail on the back with the ASA film speed dial. That's going to be it. Pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty simple. Simple. If I'm doing something and it's simplistic, I call it simple. Is that a trademarkable? Can we trademark? That's up, Gary. And yeah, again, should be pretty simple. We're gonna shoot with the Canon R5. I have the 90 millimeter tilt shift, 2.8 tilt shift macro on there. And I will say this every single time. They call these lenses macro, but the shots we're going to get today would not be technically considered macro because they're not true 1-to-1 reproduction ratio images. We have shot with a couple of these tilt shift lenses and some of the extension tubes, which will increase that minimum focusing distance or decrease the minimum focusing. It'll increase the reproduction ratio. I'll tell you that. It gets it closer to the 1-to-1, and it gives us an achievement of a 1-to-1 reproduction ratio, which would technically be considered true macro. Someone somewhere just decided that's the way it is. I didn't make that determination. But anyway, these are basically just close focus detail shots with a lens that's called a 2.8 macro, 90mm 2.8 macro. But again, technically not macro shots, just some close-up details of this. But with the other lenses, like I said, we have shot some actual macros. And if you missed any of those, many of them do end up, if not all, end up going on to the YouTube, which slowly trickle out. What's up, Brandon? Everything slowly trickles out onto the YouTube. Although I've been pretty good with that. I've been getting them up pretty quick, and there's a lot of content on there for your VOD, for the VODs in you. Redeemed, thank you, cha-ching. And what else did I want to say? Another cool thing we will do at some point, I do have a cool adapter for my R5 that gives me the ability to use the lenses from the Argus camera on my R5, so I do want to play around with that. Yeah, thank you, Paxmore. YouTube is blowing up. Yes, just taking it easy, one step at a time. Basically everything we've done so far, this is still like version 1.1 or whatever. Version 1 version 1 was a dude, you don't need to subscribe, but I mean, obviously I'd think of you, as a better friend, no, I'm just kidding. I never expect anybody, if people can't show up to the stream, it's like no big deal. If you can't watch the videos, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Not everybody's interested in photography. Everyone loves Instagram, but not everybody's interested in photography. So I never expect anything. I appreciate all the love and support from everybody out there. Y'all are amazing. Subscribe. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cherish you. Appreciate you. Like I was saying though, this little adapter will give us the ability to shoot with those lenses, which I'd love to do. Oh yeah, it's blessed. Which I'd love to do on the stream because I have extension tubes as well for the Argus mount. So we could shoot some cool close-up macro stuff with those old school lenses and maybe pit them against some of these new school lenses and see how big of a quality difference there's. What's up, Dylan? And that will happen eventually, but that's just kind of a cool thing. We did shoot a pretty cool still life with a bunch of these Argus accessories, and I was debating. It was actually hard to decide if I wanted to shoot like a bunch of Argus stuff, but today I just wanted to keep it pretty simple. Just two fairly simple shots, just of the detail, like I said, of the front face and the back of the camera. Beautiful textures that are on there. And like I said, I have a couple of these. You'll notice one's been on my shelf. This is, again, the in-game camera item that we use in Fallout 76. That's pretty cool. I've also shot with this camera in real life. We did scan some of the images. We'll probably do that again. I kind of screwed up the scanning of the images last time. It worked out okay, but we might end up doing it again. And then I will also probably put a roll of film through this just for fun, maybe test out each one of the lenses to give people a better idea of it, how it would represent imagery on film. That might be kind of fun. Maybe shoot black and white, of course, as it would be fitting for this era of camera. And let's see. The other one that I have, they're very most of these are very similar with a couple key differences. This one has actually, this is what they call the Colormatic. and it has less shutter speed options than the original C3. And this also has the Argus camera branding on it as well, whereas this one does not. And that's actually fitting. This one that does not have the brand name on it is going to have to be combined with this camera. Basically, the camera in game that we shoot with in Fallout, it's the Colormatic front face, but it's the original back plate. And I believe I can customize it and bring both of these plates, or take these plates off and swap them, because they look identical, and the camera body should be identical without those few key changes. So we're gonna try that at some point. Hopefully it'll work. There could be very slight differences in the build of the door or something, and it might not actually work. So that might be a bummer, but no big deal. Either way, I do have wood grain camera covers for actually both of these, so I will end up converting both of them to at least the wood grain camera cover version. Whoops. Does it sound like crap when I bump the mic? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope not. Anyway, okay, so we have everything set up basically, and I will pull out the camera and show. I hate okay, cool. That's good. Then this is a good microphone. Maybe it can't, I don't know. It sounds like it'd be terrible. It sounds like it when I bump the mic, it sounds like it's going to be terrible for people listening, but glad it's not, or at least this time it was not, but I'm sure it could be. I'm not going to do it on purpose. I will pull out the camera that we're shooting with and show that after as well, since it's a cool gear. We love camera gear here, right? So we definitely want to see it. What is this cable? What are all these cables? What is that cable? Okay, that's the cable. Okay, I got to clean up my workspace here. Anyway, let's put this into the frame. Or actually, here, wait. Let's switch over. Thank you, redeemed. I was redeemed by not screwing up the sound. Yeah, let's go into our shooting mode. Photographing mode engaged. And we'll pop this baby into the frame. Look at that atrocious frame rate. It's okay. I've been researching ways to get that to not be so shitty, but that's what we got so far. This is also cool. I was testing this earlier, and there's like a reflection of the monitor in the lens, so you can kind of see right here. Blah. That's the reflection of the shoot going on. That's pretty cool, in my opinion. I'm not really lighting this in any particular way other than the light falling on it from my studio lights, so that's fine. Look at that horse. Yeah, exactly. That's such a fitting clip. Thank you for making that. So cool. I have the best friends in the world. I'm going to point that out right now. Can't stop, won't stop, my friends, because you guys are the most amazing people. You fill my heart with joy to the point of it feeling like it's going to burst. And in fact, one case, it ended up being a heart attack. That was lame. No, I'm just kidding. I never had a heart attack. All good. Ooh. I'm peaking a little bit, huh? My audio? Turn down, buddy. I was turned up. Got turned down. Okay, I got to convert my mic here to our much better position for shooting. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, look, it fell into place like almost perfect already. How cool is that? What is this? There's like a little hair. Ooh, I should have brought my dust off up, huh? All good. We will Photoshop out any imperfections that we don't want in there. Easy Photoshopping outage. So we're just going to do a real simple shot. Real simple front face. Let's see, should we cock the shutter so that that's sticking in there a little bit maybe? Focus up. Like I said, what's weird is when I have EOS Utility on my other monitor, it seems to have a better frame rate I don't know if that was like some kind of a glitch, the kind of glitch that fixes things, but anyway, I'm messing around. We're going to get this, like I said, everything we've done so far on the show, it's all been basically like a version 1 type situation. And like we started everything, we were shooting in black and white, you know, and then when we went to color, that was kind of like the next step. Let's see, what is that? Ooh, I see. That's coming from... That's fine. I actually like those reflections. I could turn off my other little light out there, but I actually kind of like the way it's falling. That's fine. This is fine. So we got the lens. How do we want the lens? We want the lens rotated so we can read it. Although there's 2 ways. I can rotate the lens itself, or we can do the aperture. So let's do the, yeah, let's do the aperture, because I also want the infinity symbol up there. Let's see, am I going to be able to do that? No, probably not, huh? Pay attention to these details, bro. Okay, that's fine. Made in USA. Yes. Right now, what is the lens at? Is that an f/16? Yeah. That's fine. Close down all the way. Maybe you can see, maybe we'll see some of them shutter blades through the, probably not through those reflections, actually. It's probably, might not show up, but that's fine. Okay, beautiful lens. Something also of note, there are uncoded versions of these lenses, and I do want to try to retrieve both of them. I have most of the ones that I have. I'm pretty sure I have a couple of the one. I think I have 2 of the 100 millimeters and 2 of the 35s. This one doesn't say coded. This one ain't coded. I'd love to do a comparison between the uncoded versions and the coded versions at some point, but maybe, I don't know if all 3 lenses had both versions or if it was just the 50. Because the 50 is the only one that I have that has that says coded, and I know I've seen people talk about the uncoded versions. You did just basically just expect more or less flare between each version. That's about it. Okay, so what do we want to change here? We're at 6 seconds. Let's bring our shutter. Let's bring our ISO down. We'll go to 400. Let's do. We're gonna have to have a longer exposure then, eh? That's fine. F8. Let's check our depth of field. Oh, I hate how that thing is not in there. You have to switch that little shooting parameter interface. It's like not. It's not part of the actual live view interface. So like you have to, and you can't dock. Maybe you can dock it. You should be able to dock this thing right here, because it's separate. So when I click into this window, you lose that window. I mean, I know I could switch back pretty quickly, but just kind of frustrating. I'd love it if I could dock this thing so it was just all on one screen. No big deal. I'm not crying about it. Not gonna cry. I'll do that later when I'm alone. Fucking thing, yeah. This thing sucks. It's fine. We do make it happen. Okay, so anyway, beautiful shot. That's pretty much all. That's pretty much composed how I wanted it to be. I'm trying to decide if I want that chrome across the top or not, though. I don't know. Like I would tilt down and crop that top chrome plate out. And that bottom one comes into the frame, though. Also, I think we can rotate this guy a little bit. get her kind of straight on. It doesn't have to be clinically parallel with the sensor or anything like that. That's fine. We still got depth of field preview on, so that's what we were looking like at an f8. You know, let's actually try to get both. I don't know if I would mind. Let's back off just a little bit, and we'll get both the chrome on the bottom and the top in the frame. And then we'll see. I'd rather have it, I'll shoot with it. No, yeah, I don't like it. I'd rather just keep it out. I think I'd rather just crop it out. Unless y'all have an opinion. You gotta have an opinion. Yeah, let's just crop. I think it makes the frame feel a little bit more clean with those out. So let's scoot in just a little. And I would be using, I have a nice, beautiful macro slider thing, but I have it on my main camera. And I do mean to take that out at some point. Just scooting this baby. Or, maybe the top chrome, maybe just the top chrome portion isn't that bad. Since there's that second chrome line just below those viewfinder windows. Maybe we'll keep that top chrome. That might be fitting. Yeah, we'll keep it up there. Good, yeah, good call, B. Good call, B. I'm in agreement here with my boy. But yeah, the bottom, trying to get the bottom one in the frame too didn't feel as good because there's less chrome stuff down there, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell what it was, I think, on the bottom or something. I'm going to rotate just a little so that I think we're just tiny bit off. Beautiful. 50 mil Argus, dude. We'll probably convert these to black and white later. Actually, here's what we'll do. Why don't we go into black and white now? I didn't do that last time, and then I kind of regretted it. But it's not a big deal. It's fine. And where do we want the shutter speed set at? Right now we're at a 10th of a second, basically. It'd be awesome to match the settings that we have, shooting settings that we're actually shooting with. Schneider lens. Let's go. I'd like those bigger numbers to be showing. It's a psychological thing. The bigger the number a person sees, the better. And I'm not going to touch the rangefinder coupling because this guy will adjust how that's laid out, and that's fine how it is. It is fine how it is. It's locked in place, okay? Now it's locked. Man, cameras are so cool. Our camera's not really freaking cool. This thing looks so cool to me. This is why we're shooting it. And then eventually you guys will be able to buy some of this kind of stuff as wall art, stuff to hang. That's kind of my intention with a lot of these because I think they're so gorgeous. I think it's very fitting. Be 10 million a piece. Ooh, okay, so that's that light coming in from my door cut. And that's it out. Other than the exposure changing, no, I think I like that little bit of lights, adding some cool highlights to the a lot of those chrome finishes, or at least accentuating them. Yeah, I like it. So we'll leave that one in there. And we are at an f8. Let's go to an 11. I keep meaning to look up also the diffraction limited aperture that I would have with this camera. Which diffraction, if you are not familiar, Diffraction is basically a aberration or an imperfection of sorts that will actually reduce the sharpness of an image the more you close down. So usually if you're closing your aperture down, you would expect things to get sharper. You're extending the depth of field. So generally it will sharpen up a lens. But with digital cameras having such high resolution that we have these days, you're actually going to lose sharpness by closing your lens down too much. And I think on my R5, it's a 45 megapixel sensor. I want to say your detail is starting to get you're starting to lose detail rather as you close down past. I want to say it's like an f5.6 or an f6.3, something like that. So we are, we shoot at f11. That's going to lose sharpness, but we're doing it mainly for the depth of field. Although I am also going to tilt the lens a little bit so that we get an improvement in the back to front focus. Right now, the front element of this lens is sitting about maybe like half an inch in front of the shutter speed dial and the rangefinder coupling. So I kind of want all those in focus. Do I want them all in focus? I guess I do. Yeah, I think I want all of them in focus. Enjoying the stream. Don't forget to turn on notifications. Follow and turn on notifications, of course. So anyway, let's tilt the lens, and I'll have to recompose a little bit after I do that, but that's not a big deal. Now is it? So we're going to tilt down to increase back to front, and you can see already. Okay, lost it there. You can see already how the shutter speed dial and the rangefinder dial increased in sharpness already. Really just a very slight tilt is all it's taking to extend that field of focus onto the back portion as well. Although we'll probably lose a little bit of sharpness along the leather on the very bottom portion of the frame. I see it softening up a little bit, but that's not a big deal in my opinion. Oh, there's my leg blocking that light again. I'd rather have the detail in those beautiful chrome dials than the leather detail, because it's not as interesting. It's a beautiful texture. Don't get me wrong. Since we are on Texture Tuesday, so it is a beautiful texture. Okay, where do I want my critical focus to be? That's right about there. Looks pretty good. And then let's also actually scoot. No, I was like, do I want that shutter? No, that looks pretty good. I was going to say the shutter, this guy right here, that's kind of hard to see, just protruding out the one side. I was thinking maybe I could get that in the frame a little bit more, but then we're going to eat into the shutter speed dial and then also lose the cutoff at the rangefinder coupling up there. That'll emerge as a full circle, and I kind of want to keep the rangefinder and the shutter speed dials kind of similar in how they're both kind of getting cropped out of the edge of the frame. I kind of like that. That's looking pretty nice, dudes. I think we can just shoot that sucker. Although it does look like maybe I should tilt a little bit more. No, tilted back now. That looks pretty good. I don't think we're going to get much more detail out of any of that. focused a little too far forward. Just like that. Ooh. Dude, that is looking nice. Nice on ice, dude. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Let's check our critical focus. Wait, why can't you? Oh, is it because depth of field preview's on? Ching. Ching. Ooh, actually, that helped because now I can see. Let's actually make sure we are focused as critically as possible. I mean, it looks pretty good closed down. Everything we wanted to be sharp, sharpened up. Yeah, I don't know why I can't go in. Whatever. Yeah, close down. That looks great. Let me just open up. Make sure we're locked in place. So actually, yeah, that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty good. I don't think we could do much better. So let's get it. Let's get our shutter speed set. Actually, you know what? Let's even go. I'm even going to close down to F14 a little. I'm going to close down even more. Give us even more depth of field. Make sure we're not losing too much sharpness in any one area. Although, not that I was really that bothered by any of the reduction in sharpness, but it's fine. In any of the spots, I mean, it looks, I'm seeing the detail, all the detail that I want to see in all the areas, so that's good. Let's do a super long exposure. This is going to give us the detail in all the shadows, which maybe we'll try to bring out some detail in that aperture blade. Although that, ideally, if we wanted to shoot the aperture blade very well, we'd actually want to reduce as many of the reflections in the lens from all different light sources as much as possible, but it's fine. Again, I like the reflection of the camera in the monitor as we're shooting, and it's also popping up kind of up here in the rangefinder window as well. But I like how these two reflections are sitting there. That's beautiful, in my opinion. In my Humboldt County opinion, it is beautiful. And I like that. I like this. We're not going to end up, we're not going to crop. I know we have been cropping stuff a lot to 16:9. I just want to see how parallel we are. Ooh, see, that looks really cool too, though, doesn't it? So many options. We're probably, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to end up shooting a lot of the same things multiple times. Let's see. Okay, we could rotate a little bit. I think we're just a little. Oh, see, that kind of helped us because that also included more of that shutter speed, or that shutter cocker, the shutter winder. It's not called a cocker, buddy. Not your buddy, friend. Did we go too far with it, maybe? Hang on, let's see. I have geared movements for like all my axes, which is absolutely awesome. Okay, that's pretty good. So back down a little, just so we don't lose that curve, the bottom curve of the lens. Tiny bit of chrome on the top like we're talking. Beautiful, dude. Not leaving any room to reposition the crop, at least not on the bottom. There's very little room on the bottom to crop because I do want that full circle of the lens in there. I think so. I think that's the best way to go. Okay, so actually let's do a 20. We can do like a 20-second exposure on this. There's so much dark tone. So many dark tones, and I do want to see, maybe we'll try to pull out some detail in that aperture blade. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I'm probably not even going to end up combining the exposures. I know we shoot depth of field preview off. Oops. I know we shoot multiple exposures. We bracket, because I'm a big fan of bracketing for many reasons. It is very good to bracket your exposures. Let's just put it that way. Okay. F14. You know what? Screw it, dude. Let's go to F16 just to be even crazier about it. And we'll do a 25-second exposure. It's going to be long exposure. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's just go to 800 ISO. And we can just crop that shutter speed down half. So y'all don't have to bear a 30-second exposure time. It goes pretty fast. Okay. God, it looks really beautiful with the depth of field falling off too, doesn't it? So many options. But whatever, we made our decision. We want all that detail. It's about the texture. Okay, anyway, ISO 800, 13 seconds, F16. Dance party, sit still, don't bump the tripod. Bump the tripod, you pay for lunch. Hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Okay. First exposure, check. There's our preview popped up. Very bright. Very beautiful. Okay, let's go down to stop. 6 seconds. And shoot. Hold your breath. Give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. 6-second exposure, check. Another stop down. 3.2 seconds. Very quick shot. And we'll do one super slow or super fast shutter speed, just to make sure all those chrome highlights aren't blown out. Let's just do like a 1/6 of a second or something. Again, I'm probably not going to combine exposures. Maybe we will. We'll see. But it's good. I mean, even what's great about doing multiple exposures, you actually, especially for a subject like this, combining exposures and increasing the quality is always going to be possible if we ever want to go back and do that. And the more exposures you combine, the computer and the software can actually like reduce the digital noise. It can increase the resolution. It does a lot. The more light you capture, the better. The more total light you capture, and we're shooting the same thing multiple times, so you're actually gathering more of the light from that exact subject. It works best, obviously, with static subjects like this. So we can come back to this image later. Like, I've always bracketed exposures, even though it used to not be automated systems to combine exposures. They didn't do good jobs back in the day. And I would manually combine exposures just for the reason of increasing the dynamic range, or creating basically high dynamic range images manually. But it's gotten so good now, combining exposures in camera, or either in camera or with software in post, that it's like I can now go back and re-edit a lot of those images, and they'll come out in even higher quality. Very cool. So we can do that. We'll be able to do that with these in the future if we wanted to. You know, it's kind of cool. So always bracket exposures. Always bracket. Even when I'm out shooting and I'm not on a tripod, I'm not shooting static subjects, I'll usually have my camera doing 3 burst brackets of 3 stops of exposure so that you have the ability to combine those again later. And software also is getting much, much better about dealing with discrepancies in things moving in the frame and reducing any kind of ghosting that might be attributed to those items moving in the frame. So always bracket. Always be bracketing. ABB, bro. Okay, so we got that front section shot. Let's move on to the tail end. Same basic shot. Ooh, although maybe we want this one more like that. Perhaps. No, I don't know. It's kind of. Yeah, maybe it would be cool that we'll do the front side flat like that, and maybe the back side. Maybe the back side we can have. Well, we don't need the lens tilted anymore, so we'll reset that for now. Let's get depth of field preview on so we see what we're actually going to be working with at f16. Now, if we don't minimize the depth of field here, or at least give it a little bit of a depth of field fall off, there's really no reason to shoot it straight or not shoot it straight on. In my opinion. Yeah, maybe we'll just do, like I said, maybe we'll just kind of keep this exactly like that last one. So I don't think I want that shutter speed dial, or the ASA film speed dial directly center punched, because maybe we can include, since the viewfinder holes are offset, I think you want it to be slightly offset as well. I don't mind like a very center punch. Let's actually do this, dude. No, well, no. Let's tilt up a little bit first of all. We can't even really tilt up much without eating into that chrome again. Rotate a little bit like this. Let's actually bring us back just so I can see. I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, that's closer to parallel. Perfect. Maybe we want the chrome on the bottom and top on this one. Do we? I don't know. Nah, I think I kind of want to. Well, those viewfinder holes are going to be very tight on the edge of the frame if we don't include some of that chrome. I don't know if I want to, though. Let's get closer. Let's get closer. Ooh, that's a beauty. And then maybe we'll have the chrome on the left side like that. Maybe. Get those lines parallel if we can. The chrome lines, I kind of want those to be as straight across the frame as possible. That's not bad. That's not bad. A couple textures. This little chrome finish right here on this edge. Yeah, do we want that? Do we want those little chrome? First of all, let's bring our exposure down. It's a little bright for checking any of this kind of stuff. Yeah, there we go. That's close to what we're going to be looking at. Oh, my follower goal is biting into the image, isn't it? Well, too bad. You should follow. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet, dude. I'd say. Got that beautiful leather texture. We got the beautiful ASA film dial. Beautiful chrome trim. I think this has to come back just a little like that. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how the chrome is dividing up the image into thirds, which is cool. That's kind of sweet in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, this chrome is like scratched. There's no reason to buff it. I would not say. I was like, can I get any of those lines off? Probably not, because they're scratches. If there were dust or dirt or grease or whatever, they'd come off nicely. But anyway, that looks pretty cool, dude. That's looking pretty cool. Yeah. Like I said, I'll probably end up shooting. There's multiple versions of these cameras, and I'll probably end up shooting them again. Shooting the same thing again. Because there's like a dozen ways that I'd want to shoot it. Probably also when I have my studio better set up so I can get in here. It actually is kind of a frustrating position because it's mainly my microphone arm, and once I get that hung, I'm planning on hanging the microphone arm from my speed rail that I'm setting up, where also the monitors will be mounted as well to keep my workspace clear. That's a theory. It's a working theory that we're working with. Okay, so how do we want the ASA speed dial to be rotated? I think, let's see. Having it say film is kind of cool. At the very top, ISO 25 is also pretty sweet. I do not own any cameras that go down to ISO 25 or ASA. ASA and ISO, it's a different standards organization, but it's the same equivalent. ISO 100 is equivalent to ASA 100. The DIN number is very different. DIN is Europe's film speed, standardized film speed setting numbers. So that's different, and I cannot tell you that. I wish I could. I wish I could look really wicked smart. I've never converted. I don't know what I know it's lower. Like ISO 100 is like DIN like 60, I think, or something like that. I know that much. We need to get better TV emotes set up, better TTV. Yes. What is better, TTV? Am I being silly and not knowing what that is? I don't know. Anyway, that looks pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm stoked with the film being the word that is written, that we can read on that dial. That's pretty cool. Addition, an add-on that will give us more emotes. Like, yep. Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll get to that. Is that like a subscription thing, or is that like a one-time? Is it like a purchase? Is it like purchase a pack or something for the channel? I'll buy whatever, man. Okay, that's pretty cool looking. That is pretty sweet looking. I don't know what else we would do here. Again, yeah, we're keeping this. I'm like imagining several other shots of this beautiful thing, but I don't want to overcomplicate things right now. And again, will probably end up shooting this same exact camera multiple times before I actually customize it. Once I'm ready to customize it, because I know I'm waiting to get everything set up so we can have at least a cool overhead view. I have no real way to set up an overhead view of a work mat that we're going to be working on. Because I want everybody to watch top-down perspective of us working on these cameras and taking them apart and stuff. So I've been kind of dragging my feet on doing any of that for that reason. Let's see. Are we just canted a little bit? Let's put on artificial horizon. Is that artificial horizon? Yes. Beautiful artificial horizon. I think we're just... Looks like we're tilted forward a little bit. Oh, no, we're good. We were pretty good. That's good. I'm tilted down slightly. That's fine. I don't need to extend the depth of field at all with the tilt or swing here because we're so straight on. Sweet. So, dude, this might have to be the thumbnail. Looks so cool. I was picking at the thumbnails for the YouTube videos is a fun experience. Let me tell you. Anyway, okay, that can go off. We don't need the artificial horizon anymore. Let's turn off depth of field preview and make sure we're actually focused properly. See, we're not even focused properly because I had depth of field preview on. That is how much the depth of field can make a difference, though. This is completely out of focus right now, and because we were shooting at f/16, closing down actually sharpened up everything. But I was being a fool, and I should have critically focused first with the lens wide open, which we are also definitely not going to need to be at f/16 for this. So, okay, there we are, pretty much critically focused. Exactly where we want it to be. I'm pretty sure those chrome lines look parallel. We'll futz around with that in Photoshop if we need to. Let's do our aperture. So we're at f/8. Let's go. Let's see. You know, we're wide open. Wide open because we're basically shooting parallel. I'm going to shoot it at 5/6 just to close the lens down to make sure that everything that we want in focus is in focus, and to sharpen the corner. The corners might be slightly soft, wide open. Ooh, you know what I'm seeing, though? I'm seeing like a piece of the corner of the chrome up there. I don't want to see that. Let's do this. Let's shift that way. Ooh, there's just like the tiniest piece of chrome. popping in. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Ooh. Still just barely there. Okay, close enough for government work. Government doesn't work very well, apparently. So that's why you say close enough for government work, because they're just like, screw it, let's just do it. Screw it, let's just do it. Let's move to Mars. I still see the tiniest bit of that chrome, though. Moving it over just a skosh. There we go. There we go. It's bugging me. It was in the corner. Like a bug. Okay, depth of field preview off. Make sure we're still focused. Yep, critical focus is good. Everything seriously already looks... Closing down, honestly, is just to maximize sharpness, because most lenses will be a little bit sharper when closed down at least a couple stops. Don't denigrate the government. Never. Closing down a couple stops will do a couple things. It should reduce peripheral shading, aka vignette. It should reduce peripheral corner sharpness reduction, or it should increase the corner sharpness, because the corners of your lenses, the edges of the frame, are usually the least sharp. So closing down will also reduce those discrepancies. Should reduce, should sharpen up just altogether a little bit. This lens is extremely sharp, though. This Canon 90mm TS E 2.8L is like sharp, razor sharp. So that's not a problem. I see maybe a tiny bit of an increase in sharpness along the corners when I close down, maybe a little bit, barely noticeable though. Peripheral shading is probably the one area that I'm probably seeing the most. The image seems a little bit more evenly illuminated when stopped down. Anyway, okay, so we're at a 5.6. 5.6 ISO, I know that's fine. Okay, it's already pretty damn bright. Let's just do 3 seconds just again to give us those really bright exposure for all those dark areas. Beautiful shooting. And let's get redeemed. Thank you. Tab says the way you said the word discrepancies was nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I have a beautiful vocal mic. I should put on, I know like it's a really important thing. Thank you, Redeem. Thank you. You guys are the best people. Y'all know how to make a man feel very well appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, tell Tabby she's amazing. I try to describe that every time I see you guys, but gotta remind you over and over. We're gonna close down, stop here, shutter speed. Bam. We need more Paul ADMR. Is it ADMR or is it ASMR? I don't know what, I know it's a thing. Redeem weird stuff. She has COVID. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope she's doing all right. Hang in there. Well, I'm here if I can do anything. I don't know what I would do, but anyway, no fun. Tell her to feel better soon. ASMR. Okay. Hopefully she's not too, it's not hitting her too hard. I love you guys. Love you guys very much. You know this. Yeah, good. Hey, tell her to wrap a warm, wet towel around her head and eat some soup. A towel? Sorry, we love our Ferris Bueller dad meme. Okay, going to 1/8 of a second. And one very fast shutter speed again, just for those. Just for those real highlights on the chrome. But again, I'm probably not even gonna bother combining the exposures. We can usually shoot like a slightly bright, overexposed image, and we can usually bring it down. No symptoms, just tired, vaccine totter. Shit how to handle. Good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, stay hydrated. Stay happy. Stay positive. Be positive. Well, I can't believe she's willing to watch me even when she's sick. Appreciate it. Love you guys very much. Very, very much. Gary, castor oil. Ivermectin. Just kidding. Yeah, I know. We know. Yes. Most people should know. We know. Okay, anyway, we got the shots. Those are done. Let's actually, okay, so now we can go into Photoshop. Let's bring these in. This is going to be a fairly simple edit. Whoa. Oh yeah, all my settings. I just updated Photoshop and Bridge today, so hopefully we don't run into any issues. Could get thank you, love you, man. Love you guys. I'm always, I was actually hesitant to update anything. I haven't updated my operating system yet either. I'm not going to do that probably for like a week just to be clear, just to be in the clear. I don't think I would have caused any issues, but you never know. I didn't really notice. That's fine. There's kind of like a shadow on the very bottom of the frame. That's fine. That's fine. Not really much I probably would have been able to do about it anyway. I don't have as much control here as I would probably want. So here I'm gonna grab not the brightest exposures, but I'm just gonna grab the second to brightest exposures because they're overexposed a little bit, but we'll bring down the exposure. Ideally, you're bringing down the exposure. If you don't blow out your highlights, see, like I got, yeah, see, masking reimagined, organized local adjustments in the new mask list. Combine multiple tools to create more complex and precise selections. Select subject, select sky, automatically select. Okay, I don't need to read any of this crap. Bug fixes, good. That's the best thing I care about. Let me just edit my photos. 8 premium presets. Preset amount slider beta. Fine tune. I love how I said I'm not gonna read this, but I'm reading it. I am interested to see. Fine tune a preset's impact on your photo. Your feedback will help us improve this feature. Huh, that's cool. Okay, anyway, get started. Leave me alone. Adobe, you're just going to ask me to review. Adobe's going to tell me, like, hey, what do you think of our product? And I'm going to be like, pay me. Whoa, buddy, R word is a bad look on Twitch. Did I say, what did I say? Did I say something? Was that a joke? Did I say something silly? Uh-oh. Oh, I see. I see. Yes. Yeah, man, come on, bro. We're gonna have to ban you. Just give him a timeout. You can time people out. I'm curious if like would people really come back if they get timed out? It's okay. We all say silly things. You know, I try not to judge people just because they say one silly thing. Don't worry about it. I say stupid stuff all the time, and look at me. I'm kick ass. People just, I've burned a few dozen or two bridges. No, just kidding. Okay, anyway, Adobe Camera. Okay, we were going to go into monochrome Bridge. And like I said, ideally, if you don't blow out the highlights, which according to the histogram, we have highlights blowing out, but I guarantee you can bring back you use a blacklisted word, it'll stop you from chatting for 30 seconds. Oh, is that what happens? Did that happen? For 10 seconds? Reason. Dick. Richard Nixon? Okay, so anyway, ideally, if you don't blow out, if you don't completely clip the highlights, they can be blowing out. I don't think means it's clip, but if you can bring down the exposure, it's always the best thing to do. It will reduce the amount of noise, reduce the amount of artifacts. Much better. Always bring your exposure down if you can. The only reason you would want to avoid exposing too high is just if you're clipping those highlights. And in controlled situations like this, we can obviously test and see. And we did the bracket anyway, so it didn't really matter. But we can test and see if these highlights, there's like a few pieces that clipped. Like, you know, you can, obviously the areas that are still visible as like white, even when my exposure is adjusted all the way down, some of those look like they've clipped. There's no detail. But those spots, in my opinion, it's fine if they actually are completely blown out to white. If you want a full range of tones in your image, you actually do want, did I hover over the contrast slider and it gave me a, it's like, that's what this does. And then I lost my train of thought. You just don't, just expose to the right. It's called exposing to the right. You expose as bright as you possibly can without clipping the highlights. And then you can bring the exposure down. This is muy bueno. Kind of what we did. Exactly what we did here. Expose to the right. Oh, drink water. And if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to turn on notifications and follow. Yeah, if you are new to the stream, obviously would very much appreciate a follow. We're trying to make a goal here. Got a goal in mind here. And you can help me achieve that goal. I can't do anything about that goal. Only you can. But if you like photographic related stuff, film, photograph related stuff, video related stuff, we do some cinema stuff on here as well. I work as not only a still photographer, but also a cinematographer and a director. I love it all. I will tell a nice long story. I also meant to take a sip of water. I'll recount my whole story at some point. I got plans. But long story short, as some of our friends say, long story short, I got into photography because as a filmmaker, I was very frustrated that I did not know how to shoot my own film. I did not know how to photograph my movies that I was making. I originally was hiring my older brother, Emil, as my cinematographer because he was a much more well-educated filmmaker all around, but then also photographer. He's the reason that, well, it's not... Well, my dad was a photographer, passionate photographer, still photographer, and I think his passion for it kind of got us all into it. But it wasn't until my older brother Emil started taking photo class, and that influenced my middle brother John to start doing photography class. And then, of course, I still think my brothers are like the coolest people in the world. So I'm like, if they're doing it and they think it's cool, it must be the coolest thing in the world. So that's what I got to do. So then I started doing it. But I didn't get passionate about it until I was really trying to learn the ins and outs of photography so that, again, I could shoot my own films. I knew much more about lighting and composition and whatnot. But I very much fell in love with still photography and became very passionate about that. And they're very closely related, and they go very well hand in hand. But they're also very different beasts of things. And again, I'll have a nice long rant about that. We can talk about Streamlabs. Chill out. Yeah, I know it. 3 automated I wonder if there's something like we can like set that'll like change the duration or like the amount that they will display those. It doesn't bother me. Whatever. It's probably good. Maybe that counts as someone chatting on my stream, so that's good. That looks good. Anyway, okay, so we brought down the highlights. We got our exposure pretty close to where we're gonna want it to be. And I will always say, oh, I can bring this back now, not to be so close. I can chill. I can chill. Also, let's do this so you all can see the entirety of the image in there being edited. Let's do this. We know we're going to put it on a white backdrop, so I'm going to edit it against white. Ideally, you're editing on a medium gray. This is like traditionally the best way to determine exposure and stuff, but I know it's going to go on white. Even if I printed this, I'd be mounting it onto a white board, white mount board. So I think it does change my perception of how I would want the exposure and contrast to be set. So I'm gonna edit it on the white. I'm just gonna edit it on the white. Hope you don't mind. Hope y'all don't mind. Anyway, brighten, probably comp a little bit on the exposure. Let's add some contrast. Brighten it up a little more. Oof. Oh, I was talking about range of tones in your image. Streamline shot, you can. Oh, it just happened. All the timers lined up. Oh, okay. That's funny. Whatever. Like I said, that doesn't really bother me all that much. It's good to see people chatting, even if it's just Streamlabs, even if it's a bot. Makes me feel welcomed. What are we doing here? Oh, I was talking about range of tones. So it doesn't, like, some of these like very small pieces of this chrome here, like right there, that's blown out. That's white. But that's a tone. White is a tone. If you don't have pure white and you don't have pure black in your image, you do not have a full range of tones. And you actually do want, in my opinion, to blow out a few. Like I said, those are small enough areas where it's not atrocious. How's this guy doing? Is that blown out? Yeah, see, like that spot right there is blown out. But again, it doesn't. It does, in my opinion, it's like I would even if I could have that detail there, I don't know if I would want it. Because again, I want a full range of tones, so I want some of that to clip to white. I want some of the shadows to clip to black. I want a full range of tones in this image. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Make sure my screen brightness is turned up. That's smart. That'd be a good idea. That looks pretty good. Histogram looks okay. Maybe just a skosh brighter. We can always maybe throw a curve on this later. Let's maybe add a little bit more contrast. 55, 50, 55. I know how to turn the contrast slider all the way up to 55. And that's what we did. Histogram looks okay. That looks pretty good. I like the contrast. Black and white, I feel like I tend to like a higher amount of contrast than my color imagery. Seems to be the thing. Let's see, maybe we can boost the shadows a tiny bit, like 25, and then actually, let's do highlights at 90. Shadows plus 25, and then we'll come down on the exposure just slightly. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more contrast now since we technically reduced it by boosting the shadows and we yeah, basically reduce the contrast by boosting the shadows a little bit, how we did. So that's fine. Contrast, actually, let's go down exposure a little bit. Like, yeah, we set it there. That's fine. That's perfect. I reiterate this on every stream, but where I'm editing, how I'm editing right now, this is very not ideal for a photo edit session. This is not the good setup for a photo edit session. But that's fine. Oh, we didn't do our color temperature yet either. We should technically be, and this is not going to make a big difference because it was already pretty much there, but we should be about 3200 Kelvin. Plus 7 on the tint's fine. That's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Should have done that in color. When we're in color, I could switch it, but it's fine. It looks great. We're fine. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, I like that one. Let's be done with that. Let's move on to our backside. Here we will actually set the color temperature closer to its proper. And one reason I like this in black and white is because I have so much color temperature flooding from my monitor and from multiple light sources that I cannot control. Most of these shots end up in black and white, or a lot of these, especially ones with a lot of black, what should be black and white toned sections. I mean, this image should be 100% black and white essentially, except for this little red dial or marker for the ASA speed dial. And all the color and the black and the chrome, those are all just reflections from the light sources. So no bueno. How's our chrome? We did get this. Now this image, there's quite a lot of blowing out in the chrome. Although maybe it's not. Again, maybe it's not going to be too bad. Let's see how it does. Bringing the highlights all the way down. Got our color temperature set, so let's put it in black and white so you can see how we really like it. Yeah, okay, that chrome blowing out on the right side, that doesn't bother me at all, so that's fine. That is fine. Brought highlights down, let's bring the shadows up to 25. It's actually... Let us actually just copy and paste their edit settings so that it's pretty much exactly the same, because it should pretty much be the exact same, which it looked like it fell in pretty close. The only thing we want is that leather to be the same tone of black on both of these, I would probably say. Or at least very close to similar. So actually this one now is looking, maybe it could like use a little bit more exposure. Let's do a little bit more exposure on that one. Let's bring the exposure down a little bit more on this one. Just gonna try to match the leather tone, at least for the most part. At least so that if you're jumping back and forth between them, they look very similar to the eye or the same to the eye, which they do to me. They look close enough to me. Maybe this one can come down one more bump. One more bump on that, and then maybe bump this one up one bump. Bumpage. There we go. That's looking nice. Wow. Wow, so cool. And I mean, I don't know what else. There's nothing else I would want to do personally to these. Obviously, anybody sees anything, you're always encouraged and welcome to tell me. See this second image, the first image, like I said, because we shifted the lens or tilted the lens a little bit to maintain focus between all these knobs and dials that we really wanted, the leather texture, at least along the bottom of the frame, is not really there. And it doesn't bother me on this first shot because there's so much detail in those other areas that I would want to emphasize. But the second image, I think it would be a bummer if some of that leather was out of focus. Right now, this second shot is a lot more about that leather texture, in my opinion, because there's a lot less cool textures on the back than there are on the front with all those dials. The ASA dial's there, and that's got some texture to it. But that's, I think it being up against a very sharp leather texture, I think that's good. This is all good. So we match those tones. Let's just hit done here so that we solidify before Adobe Camera Raw decides to crash on me. Let's mark these ones with 3 stars. Stars and bars tour. Hey, what's up, John? Pop quiz hotshot. Tell us what ASA stands for. Ooh, I know what ISO is. ISO is International Standards Organization. ASA might be the American Standards Administration. Is that what it is? Awesome, super awesome. Yes. It is awesome, super awesome. It is. I say. Association. Like I said, it's ISO's International Standards Organization. ASA, I think it's American Standards Administration Association. American Standards Association. Is that what it is? American. Look, I got it right. Okay, that's all I know. I'm always right, dude. It's my stream. It's my stream. I'm always right on my stream. These are done. We're done with these. Actually, well, there still looks to be a little bit of a difference in tone. Or in shade, rather. I keep saying tone. It's really a shade of this black. The black leather. Let's do one more bump down on that. Actually, I'll just do 2. And back to back. Okay. Yeah, those look a little bit better now. And why don't we open these bad boys up? In the photo chopper. Gray gamma. Such a weird color space, but that's fine. It always works out for me. Actually, an originalist myself. I still swear by the Werner K standard sensitometer. WSS Association. Oh, okay. Well, they're not around anymore. As the American Standards Association is gone. They're not around anymore. Actually, that's probably, maybe that's not true. I just know that it's no one says ASA. No one says ASA anymore. Nobody, not no one, not no how. Come down on the exposure on this one a little. So hard to tell. No, I think that looks pretty good. No, I kind of want, yeah, no, you know what? Let's close that one. Don't save. Let's come down. On this one, we'll just do, we bumped those highlights up, and I think that was a bad idea. I think coming down 10, and then maybe coming down the exposure, one little bump. Open that sucker up. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of a difference there. Yeah, that looks a little healthier. That looks healthier to me. The leather tone still looks close enough to get. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Okay. So all we gotta do is pretty simple stuff. All we must do now is put these on our backdrop, which I always say is not right, don't I? Yeah, I need a template with that, with my name on there. Okay, and then we'll size this boy. Size this boy up. It's 300 for now, but we want it at 9 inches on the longest side. And we don't have any layers on this guy, so we don't need to flatten. We don't need to make sure we're cropping or anything. We can throw this right on there. Uh-oh. Okay, beach ball. Oof. That's right. I think I have too many things open. I need one of those M1 Max. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. Okay, let's line these up. Line these layers up. Good. And then we just throw our name down here. What font am I at? 50. I don't think so. It's there. You're just not going to see it until... Yeah, there we go. I think... Whoa. Lorem Ipsum. My favorite person. Lorem Ipsum. I'm going to name characters. Based on those... What's that called? Is there like a name for that gibberish language that they put on stuff? There's definitely a name for that, right? I'm pretty sure there's a name. Snudge this signature a little bit. Yeah, right around there looks fine. That looks fine. That looks nice. Maybe a little bit further away from that edge. Not bad. Not bad. It's just called Lorem Ipsum. Well, I'm going to use that name characters now. Lorem Ipsum person. The Ipsum family. Lorem, Lauren, and Laura Ipsum. The Ipsum sisters. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Here's kind of, well... Yeah, there was actually one thing I wanted to do that I forgot to do in ACR. But that's fine. We'll just do it right here, right now. We're going to quick mask. We're going to brush. What's my brush size? Whoa, 5,000 pixels. No, buddy. We're just going to do just the center of the lens here. I just want to see what it looked like with this area brightened a little bit to accentuate the aperture in there. It could, yeah, again, it would have taken a lot of work to get the light shining inside there to emphasize the aperture, while also not creating too many reflections. It's this is basically product photography, and as simple as it might seem, this is all very intricate when you get into where you want the reflections and the shadows to be, all that stuff. No, and we do not have the setup for any of that right now. So let's just do an exposure layer. We have a mask, so it should only affect that one area. Oh yeah, let's do that. No, dude. No. I don't know how much I like brightening that at all. Actually, maybe a little bit. Maybe we'll add a tiny bit. We'll bump it one stop. We'll have a one stop increase. Just so you can see that pupil. We like to see that pupil. And then let's do this. Let's actually take it away from this area. Let's take it away from basically everything but just that one small section where you can kind of see those aperture blades. Sweet. Just a tiny bit of a hint of some aperture going on there. Again, I thought it was pretty cool that the reflection of the camera is from the monitors on there. This is a picture of me up here, and then my buddy Matthew Boy up there. That's funny. I'm probably in this reflection somewhere. I'm probably this blurred thing on the side. Very cool. That's resolution. Dude, that's resolution. Dude, look at that horse. Look at that resolution right there. Just kidding. We're all good. Oh, night, bro. Sleep well, buddy. Good game. Yeah, sleep well, bro. Thanks for showing up. Thank you, Redeemed. Thank you. All right. We're almost done here. And then we get to whatever it is that we want to do in life. Shooting silly close-ups of cameras. Who does that? Your boy Paul does. Okay, save this. Let's save this one. Argus detail. Yeah, and then we will put this in an edits folder. Put this in an edits folder. It can be saved with sRGB. That's fine. Photoshop, fine. This is the Argus C3 face. Front, we'll just say front and back. Argus C3 front, and we will save this as the PSD. And then we will let's close up this image. Don't save. And then we are going to just resize this one. 9 inches on our longest side. Drag and drop it onto our already created template. Align these guys up. Should be the exact same size. Delete these 2 layers. Delete. We're going to save this as a copy. This is the Argus C3 back. PSD, sRGB is fine. Blah, 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 blah. It's layers. That's fine. Good. I'm going to close this. Don't save. I'm going to close this. Don't save. I know this is kind of silly to do this. There's not really much of a point in closing those and opening these back. It's just to keep myself organized so I know which files is saved as what. Just like when I'm using the same image as the template, basically, it just to close and open them up like that helps me keep my head in the right place. Okay, that's perfect. So then we just need to, let's just resize. Let's make these sized for what is going to be the end all be all of everything Instagram. 1080 on the front first one. Saving this as a copy. JPEG. Here's a pop quiz. Y'all know what JPEG stands for. JPEG. It was the name of the photo club in high school that I was a part of. We called ourselves the JPEG, which was already a crew of sorts. I'll let you guys work on that. I know exactly what it is, but you might not. Okay, Argus C3 front. I'll tell you in a second. Y'all can look it up on Google while we're doing it, and then you can act smart and say you know it. I know it. Wicked smart. Argus C3 front. Perfect. Maximum. Perfect. Close. Don't save. This one. Image size. 72 DPI. Whoa, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. That's 3,000, 3,300. That's interesting. 72 DPI at 1080. Wee. Sweet. Save this as a JPEG, as a copy, as a JPEG. Everybody JPEG? Nobody? Get it? No. JPEG. Yeah, until I save this file. Argus C3 back, JPEG, sRGB. This is a copy. Saving maximum detail. Perfect. Close that up. Don't save. Don't give him the stick. And there we have it, dude. Our 2 images. Front and back. Brrr. JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group. Very, very knowledgeable. I want you to know that I'm very knowledgeable. Joint Photographic Experts Group. Cool, eh? And yeah, my photo club in high school was called JPEG. Joint Photographic Experts Group. We were like, well, that's fitting, right? We're all experts here. We're all so expert. Okay, so that's it, dude. Look at these images you guys helped me create, bro. Check out that horse. I definitely like the front side shot better than like the back side shot, just because there's so much more cool stuff looking on, that's on this front image. But they're both cool. They are both sweet in their own ways. Like I said, I mean, I think I might have liked. It might have been cool to do. Here, you know what? Since we're done, let's go back into EOS Utility and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It probably would have been more interesting to shoot this side. Maybe a little bit off. Which again, like I said, I reserve the right. I will probably photograph a lot of this stuff more than once, multiple times. Something like that might have been more interesting, just so that there was more more dynamics to the shot. I think I probably would have kept it so that the depth of field was falling off and really focused just on the dial itself. And would have added a feeling of depth and dimension to it, but both images were, having them both similar as a diptych, I think is pretty cool like that, having them both the exact same style or whatnot. But again, I'm reserving the right. I'm going to shoot these things multiple times. There's so many cool ways to do it. And how can I call myself an expert at shooting any of this stuff without having done it multiple times, right? That's my opinion. So I'm probably shoot this. There's so much, this whole camera, like we'll do a day again. Also when I have like, it's such a restrictive environment that I'm in right now. Like just reaching in there, it feels just awkward. And so once I get it set up and it's like easier to play around and manipulate the objects we're shooting and manipulate the camera, and I have like I don't have the right tripod head. I have the right tripod head, or a decent tripod head on here, right? It's subjective, right? But I don't have any good legs right now. I'm literally, and that actually is segueing perfect into talking about the gear we're shooting with right now. Anyway, let's exit out of here. We're done shooting. Congratulations. Thank you very much, everybody. High fives. Thank you, Argus. Thank you, R5. You beautiful pieces of machinery. Yeah, we're done with the photo shoot sesh. We're done with that, dude. Thank you. Good job, Zhang. Very good. I couldn't have done it without you people. You guys are the most supportive, awesome people in the world. At least to me. For me and to me. Brandon Redeemed, thank you. Cha-ching. Check out that horse. Did I just do a whole video review on that? That's funny because it's photographic related. Schneider lens, which we shot with the Schneider. Yeah, son of a bitch. We shot with a couple Schneider lenses. Did I shoot with the 50 yet on the show? I shot with the 50. I shot with the 50 and I shot with the 90 Schneider tilt shift lenses, perspective control lenses. They also have a beautiful 28 millimeter tilt shift or perspective control lens that I'd love to shoot with. But anyway, just fitting that the guy is like, Schneider lens. That was always the funniest line to me as a photographer. Okay, why am I messing with that? We don't need to mess with that anymore. I'm going to show you guys the camera. This will also end up being the thumbnail image probably for when I upload this on YouTube. Thumbnail picture of camera gear. Very good to have in there. And now you can kind of see the studio backdrop a little bit better. Yeah, look at that horse. Exactly. But anyway, we shot with the Canon R5. We have the 90 millimeter tilt shift lens, 2.8 L series tilt shift lens. Beautiful lens. This lens is like so freaking gorgeous. Here, see that is what you're supposed to do for thumbnails. I don't want to. That's not gonna end up as a thumbnail, but at least the camera gear in there. We didn't have any extension tubes on it this time. We usually, when we shoot these macros or these close-up shots, we will end up putting the extension tubes on here just to get that minimum focusing distance increased or decreased, whatever makes sense. But increasing the reproduction ratio. But we didn't use any extension tubes. We have the EF to RF drop-in filter adapter, which we did not use any drop-in filters on this shoot. We probably won't ever need any drop-in filters for this kind of stuff. I don't foresee us needing that for anything, but I could be wrong. Reserve the right to use whatever. And we just did basically, I think we only tilted the lens maybe like 3 degrees. Where's the marking? Yeah, probably like a 3-degree tilt only for that one image. I bumped the mic again. Anyway, that's it, y'all. That was another one that you people were amazingly here to watch. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Appreciate you. I cherish you. Again, if you are new to this channel, new to the stream, and you like photographic stuff, would very much appreciate a follow. We do a lot of cool photo related stuff on here. Like I said, right now we're doing a live photo shoot. We also do in-game cool photography, what I call photography, AFAUX, photography. When we're shooting in-game, that's what I like to call it. Taking photographs in-game. And I got a lot more stuff planned. And the reason we were shooting, and we do play around with this camera, we shot with this camera in real life. We've also done at least one other photo shoot with it, and I talk about it a lot because we do our photography in Fallout 76 using this camera. This is the actual what camera they use to base the in-game camera item off of. So it is very fitting to play around with it and shoot it in real life and shoot with it in real life because we're using it in the game and we are customizing it. Like I said, I gave this whole spiel at the beginning of the stream, but we are going to customize it to look exactly like the camera in the game and have the correct branding, which I will say right now, one thing I do think about how we're going to do it because I also don't want to screw it up. I don't think I don't have the new camera covers nearby. Where did I put those things? Here's what I was thinking though. I want to get in the game. This is the closest front face. This is the Colormatic, the C3 Colormatic. The one we just shot is like the C3 standard. Lock on to this sucker. And this one has the Argus brand name printed on it, right? It says Argus right here. In the game, this says ProSnap. So I want to change that branding, and that is kind of a difficult thing to do, or that's going to be difficult, and there's a couple ways we could do that. On the other camera, the camera we just shot, there is no brand name, so I could probably get an engraving done on the actual camera cover, the replacement, the wood grain camera cover, so that when we put it on, it's right there. This one, however, we're probably going to have to cover it up, which just a small slice of chrome metal of some kind with the ProSnap camera brand name makes sense. But then also in the game, it says ProSnap Deluxe. And the Deluxe looks like it's kind of etched onto the camera cover itself. So I might do that etching first because I believe it's going to be easy for them to etch just that thin piece rather than have this whole bulky thing under the laser and etching that. But who knows? This is all stuff we'll talk about when we actually get to customizing, which will be happening soon. I promise. Working out the logistics of that one. Anyway, very cool. Like I said, if you like camera stuff, this is a good channel to keep an eye on, and I obviously would very much appreciate a follow if you do like that kind of thing. If you do like this stuff, camera stuff, that's what we do here. Cameras, lenses, photography, very cool stuff. Yeah, very much appreciate everybody being here. Y'all made this experience much better. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if you weren't. I wouldn't do it if you weren't here. Well, maybe I might do it in the hopes that I would attract at least somebody else. But anyway, I would prefer if you are all here because it makes it a lot more fun. So I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope it was, relaxing and fun and entertaining and inviting and worthwhile. Hope I didn't waste your time. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Not 100% sure what we will do tomorrow yet. If we do anything at all. Might not do a stream tomorrow. We'll see. Thursday, I do plan on doing another Zelda Triforce Thursday, as we like to call it. Shooting in game in Zelda. That's been real fun. That game is absolutely gorgeous to go photograph. I mean, there's so much cool potential, which we did upload. Most of those sessions that we've done so far are up on the YouTube. Check out our socials that I will spell correctly this time. Check out the socials. Yeah, the YouTube and the Instagram are probably the most used right now, where you'll be able to find content. All these streams end up on the YouTube. These shots that we took today will be ending up posted on the Instagram. There will probably be more stuff posted on Instagram. We've done some of the in-game photography stuff posted on there, but that's slow to happen. So YouTube is probably the best place to get more content, although it's really just a back catalog of a lot of these streams right now. I do have a lot of ideas for more produced videos. I want to do some camera gear reviews. There's going to be camera gear reviews on there. There's going to be book reviews. I have some photo books that I really wanted to talk about. I have movie reviews that are photographic related movie reviews that would be pretty cool. But right now, the best thing you can do to help the channel is to follow if you enjoy photography, videography type stuff. And if you do want to contribute in another way, Patreon is a great place to help support the channel as well. Either way, very much appreciate your time and you guys all being here and hanging out with me, taking these photos, having fun. I will always remind you to love yourself, love others, and love life. Do not lose your dinosaur, okay? Whatever you do, that's important. And enjoy the rest of your evening. You deserve to enjoy the rest of your evening. You deserve to relax. Even if you're working, even if you have to work tonight, you can relax. Even if your job entails an active, more stressful environment, you can still find that inner relaxation and that inner calm and inner peace. So you deserve that. Just remind yourself you deserve to feel that way, even in those times of stress. Relax. Take it easy. Relax. You deserve it. You deserve to have a good night. I love you all, and I will see you all soon. Like I said, if I'm not on tomorrow, most likely Thursday, we'll do some Zelda streaming. And then if not Thursday, most definitely we will be doing Photography Friday. Probably do some sort of Halloween special related thing. Last time we built a haunted house. We didn't really finish it. We got some of it. We got most of it done. Maybe we'll finish off doing some of the decorations for that haunted house that we built and we're photographing. And then we'll also do our standard NPCs flying in the air photography that we love to do in that. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, if not Thursday, definitely Friday. Either way, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Peace. Love you all. Enjoy your burrito. Jocking that line from Nerdist, as you know, you guys probably know that. I love you. Love you all. Thank you all. Love you all. Bye.